All right, with all the snow we've had and more on the way, many people are bundling up and heading outside for some winter fun, but staying safe while having fun in the cold weather can be a real challenge. Our chief health editor, Dr. Nandi, joining us right now. Dr. Nandi, all right, let's start with asthma, which really can be deadly if people aren't careful when they're out in this snow and cold weather, right?
Oh, we're just talking about that. People don't realize it, right? People with asthma have inflamed airways and produce extra mucus in the lungs. And here's the problem. Cold air is dry and it can irritate your airways, leading to coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath. And if you have asthma, your airways are already swollen and cold air can make it worse by thickening mucus. And that makes it harder to breathe. So to minimize the risk, what should you do? Wear a scarf or a mask over your nose and mouth to warm the air before breathing it in. Also, pace yourself, please, to avoid overexertion and carry your quick relief inhaler. We talked about this too, Carolyn. And if your doctor recommends it, however, on the coldest days, it's best to stay indoors, please. And most importantly, consult with your doctor to create a plan that really works for you.
Yeah, that inhaler, so very important. You know, kids want to stay out, especially in this cold, for a long, long time when they're having fun. But how long is it safe to let them play, especially when they're wet and cold and all that?
My kids like that too. There's no set limit for how long kids can stay outside. It really depends on the weather, their age, and how well dressed they are, right? And now my boys love playing in the snow, and they're like most kids, and they don't always realize when they're getting too cold. So my wife and I make sure that they're dressed properly before they head out. And so we focus on layers because it's the best way to stay warm. They wear wool instead of cotton because it holds heat better. Their gear includes waterproof pants, boots, and a jacket, plus mittens, a hat, and a scarf, the whole bit. And as for mittens getting wet, waterproof ones can last a couple hours, while water resistance ones might soak through in 20 or 30 minutes. If you're unsure, check them often to see if they're getting damp or cold. And let's be honest, right? Tweens and teens, they love to push the limits. That's why parents like us should keep an eye on all kids, no matter what their age is. Setting time limits is important, and taking regular warm-up breaks. It helps prevent frostbite and hypothermia. Lastly, no one, right, should be out in the temperatures or wind chill when there's wind chills below 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's when skin can freeze quickly. So this is why we have to keep an eye on those kids, because my young one, especially my 5-year-old, he could be there all day, and I gotta get him back in.
Oh yeah, I remember walking home from school. I would be frozen when I'd come home. So yeah, we definitely have to. Thank you, Dr. Nandi.
Of course, my pleasure.
As always, love your expertise.
Thank you.
And this week on the Dr. Nandi Show, it is time to shed light on the stigma of suicide. Dr. Nandi breaks down the warning signs and shows us ways to support those who are struggling. That is this Sunday at 5 p.m.